This is Sybert signing in to Red Alert 3 on the map Magmageddon for a free-for-all. This is no 3v3 action in the top left-hand corner as the Yellow Empire. This is Error 404. On the left as the Purple Soviets, this is Wallace. Crane first. In the bottom left-hand corner as the Blue Empire, this is KardashianBooty. We'll just be calling Kim because it's a lot less syllables to try and say that than to try and say KardashianBooty every single time. In the top right-hand corner as the Cyan Empire, this is BlackOps. And as the Red Empire, this is Mates Purr. In the south as the Green Allies, it is U2 forever. I guess they're a big fan of U2 or something. But in this particular case, there's only one Allies player in this FFA. So, we can see exactly how this progresses. I know there are a handful of you out there, the vocal minority, who are really upset with the Allies, which it brings me so much joy, because as I've pointed out a couple of times in comments, when I started casting Red Alert 3, there was all this balance whining about how OP Empire was and how hard it was for the other factions to defeat Empire. Little Dragonfly heading out across the map, this burst drone from Purr, gonna be getting the scout off. So it's just funny. It's funny to see, you know, the balance wine shift around to different players, or to different factions, as people complain about different things. This is an older replay. This one is not fresh and hot off the presses, but indeed, this is from the time when I was gone. Whoa, sudden transport. That's not a Tengu. Gets a snipe, and these 5 tank busters, they're gonna try and just run away from this Imperial warrior. I didn't realize that was a sudden transport and not a Tengu. He had me fooled entirely. This MCV from Wallace, it seems kind of close to Kim's base, so he's going to be dropping a Rax and a couple of base defenses, so that crane ends up coming in useful. He does have pretty much everything else walled in, and he dropped a 3rd refinery on his way. He's got this bear, which should be able to deal with those tank busters. LOL JK, it is unable to, so he needs to drop something, either some walls or some flak cannons, plus, you know, he needs something to deal with this Chopper VX. He's going to be able to grab the refinery, which is super annoying, but it's not enough to really justify this kind of an attack, and he's going to try and move his MCV into range of these flak cannons, but Wallace, between him and Kim, he could be either eliminating Kim very quickly, or Kim could be eliminating him very quickly, and right now, Wallace is the one who actually has an economy. Wallace is the one who actually has some stuff going on. Purr is actually going to be finding the opportunity to get some damage done on this super reactor, so Error 404 going to be chasing away Purr from Wallace's base. I don't know if these guys have some informal kind of arrangements going on, but the MCV does manage to escape for Kim, so that's good. He's got the rack set up. He's got the 1 refinery. He's still technically in this game, even though he doesn't have a whole lot left. And I love these Tengus are killing these bears as the bears are, as the conscripts are killing the actual tank busters. He's trying to get some clearance for these tank busters to do their damage, and they're going to have to run away because of that Tesla coil. Out on the water, Purr loses his refinery to BlackOps. BlackOps getting the opportunity to just crush through that refinery with the Tengus. This MCV is in dire straits. It's on low HP. And these Tengus from Purr, they're going to be able to kill a couple more of these bears. Again, he's trying to create some space for his tank busters. He's trying to allow his tank busters to do some damage. Those Tengus back home, they could be trouble for Purr to deal with. Airfield's going to be going down to try and deal with this attack from Purr. He does have a little bit of, Wallace that is, does have a little bit of repair drone action going on, and more Tengus coming out for BlackOps. They're going to get spotted by U2 forever. And this ore collector, it's not actually going down, so those repair drones are good enough to keep it alive in the in-between time. For now, U2 Forever, I think, is the only one who hasn't really had a real engagement at this current time. So, it's actually working out quite nice for him. Kim loses a refinery. That's super annoying. The MCV is way up here in the north. He's going to have to try and hold on to this oil derrick as long as he can, because right now that's his only source of income. Per is going to be slowly losing his own oil derrick. I assume he's been teching up or something. No, he's been building a big cloud of Tengus on the right side of the map. Could go ahead and transform to try and kill this Twin Blade. He will get the kill on the Twin Blade before losing to the MiG. And it looks like maybe one of these Tengus will escape. The answer for now is yes. If it stops moving at all, he's going to have a little bit of trouble. And no, the MiG does catch up and gets the kill on that Tengu. So no one giving up in this situation. The oil derrick does go down. There's the transform from the Tengu, but Per transforms as well. Here are the reinforcements for BlackOps. Who's got the better focus firing? Per has the better numbers, but is the focus firing going to be enough? Pulling back the weakened guys, and there's the transform for BlackOps. Per decides to pull back instead of transforming himself. There's the refinery. There's the racks for Kim. His old main base has been completely taken over by Wallace. Wallace now sitting, I think, on 5 refineries, potentially going to be taking a 6th relatively soon, and then potentially putting some pressure on U2 forever in the north. One Dragonfly heading out across the map. Error 404 sitting on his own 5 refineries and doing a pretty good job of it. I don't know what these guys are attacking. They're attacking something. But for right now, Error 404 is looking to be in a good position. Per and BlackOps have kind of been fighting each other. Per also picking a fight with Wallace, which has just given Error 404 the ability to take this little corner and just hang out. I mean, like I said, he's got those 5 refineries up and running, which means even if he starts to lose 1 or 2, he'll still be on a good economy. U2 forever. We're coming in here with a Riptide, some Javelin Troopers, and potentially some Peacekeepers as well, but pretty much everything is going to be going down to these Twin Blades with the repairs. Again, that crane is just so good. Taking a little bit of damage from the water forces. Per has to fly his Tengus back around. Could be a big transform on a refinery, but no, for now, he's just going to ignore it. This refinery getting set up for Per, and it's immediately under fire from BlackOps. So BlackOps creating a lot of problems for Per, and it's going to be Tengus with point defense drones against Tengus with point defense drones, but Per gets the drop, and he has the superior numbers over BlackOps, but BlackOps gets the kill on the refinery. That's the thing he cared about, and now he is going to be getting on out of there. Dog down here for the scout. Dog over here for the scout. And these Tengus, they're going to fly directly over that little Defender VX, but Per, can he actually put the hurt on BlackOps? For now, the answer is no. Multigunner IFV does go down. I think that was another refinery from Per. I don't think he quite realized that that U2 Forever had set up shop there. Wallace trying to pick a fight with Shogun battleships, which is a bad idea. Shoguns may finally be able to take down that super reactor. The answer is yes, sending Wallace into low power mode, forcing him to sell off pretty much everything as something happened up there, and Per surrounds this refinery and is going to be able to kill it. As moving on to land, Wallace is going to get pretty much eliminated by Error 404. This one reactor is the only thing left in the original main base of Wallace. He has just taken up Kim's old main base, but he's going to be getting hit by Tier 3 water artillery from 2 sides. Not even the Twin Blades are going to be able to save him because of the number of hydrofoils that are there, and now Per is starting to take notice of Wallace as well. Sells his Conyard, and Wallace may be the first one out of this game. He's trying to get, I guess, enough cash. He does have... Oh, wow, everything's been eliminated here as well, so yeah, he's selling off. I mean, he's got the crane, so technically he can still rebuild, but he's so far behind at this point, he's even going to be losing these Twin Blades to the cloud of Tengus from Per. And there's nothing here really to stop Error 404 from just crushing through the rest of this. So Wallace pretty much out of it at this point. Kim is surprisingly in a slightly better position. He still has his MCV. I don't know what his bank account is looking like. He lost that oil derrick a good while ago. But in this particular case, the MCV is reset up. He may have to sell off some of those Defender VXs just for the cash. I don't know how much, if he has enough to actually get out a refinery. It looks like the answer is yes, which normally you want to spend all of your money on units and stuff to kill your opponents with, but in this particular case, some of these guys actually need to keep a couple $1,000s in their bank account in case they have to move their MCV, sell everything, and start over somewhere else. But this crane, it's doing him good. He's rebuilding a war factory. Wallace, he's kept around that Tesla coil, so he's going to be on that low power mode for a little while, which is super annoying. The extra build time is never fun and not what you want in an FFA. Error 404 and U2 Forever, definitely the two who have avoided taking damage and picking fights for the longest. They are in the strongest position, but Per and BlackOps both have a chance at this as well. And, you know, technically Wallace and Kim are still in this also. Going to be checking the area this time as this refinery is heading out for the expansion. And we could definitely be in a situation where the big two end up fighting each other. Error 404 and U2 Forever end up fighting each other in a big way. They end up just kind of killing each other, weakening themselves and weakening their opponent, and then one of them wins and the other one gets eliminated by the other guys. The MCV out on the move, having to sell everything, is Kim, which, you know, as long as there's an oil derrick on the map, he technically still has a shot, as long as he can afford an engineer and an oil derrick, or a barracks and an engineer to capture the oil derrick. But it's going to take him so long to earn enough money to build a refinery, if that is indeed his plan. And hot tip for you, Kim, it may not be a good idea to drive past, like, the current #1 player in this FFA. He's trying to just, you know, say, look, I don't mean you any harm. I just have a lowly MCV, and this is so many Tengus. I wish I could zoom out a little bit further here, but the point defense drones and the Tengus make this impossible to see what is even going on. KardashianBooty, aka Kim, has been defeated. And I don't know who's winning this. I guess someone is, but, you know, I guess Per is losing this. That seems fair to say at this point. So yeah, BlackOps, his Tengu swarm was just a little bit better than Per's. They were fighting over the water, so no chopper VXs were really able to make the difference in that battle. If you're fighting over land, then you have the opportunity to transform those chopper VXs down and do a little bit more damage that way. Wallace has rebuilt his MCV, so unlike Kim, he is not out of this game just yet. Chopper VX is going to go ahead and transform. Where are your Tengus now? They are here, and they're easily able to deal with that one little problem. This is going to be difficult for Per. He's going to have to cut and run. He's going to be losing pretty much everything on the ground. The combination of the Tengus in the sky, the Chopper VXs in the sky, and the Tsunami Tanks on the ground are probably going to be too much for Per to deal with. Every unit that he transforms just gets annihilated. In the south, it looks like Shogun battleships getting EMP'd by U2 Forever, and U2 choosing his engagement wisely here. It looks like he was able to come out ahead in that engagement. The Tsunami Tanks, is this really 3 Tsunami Tanks chasing 3 Tsunami Tanks and a whole bunch of Tengus? Like, if it's 3v3, then sure, run away, but if it's 3v3 plus a whole bunch of other stuff, you'd think the guy with the 3 plus the other stuff would be able to make that work. In this particular case, the answer is no. Wallace setting up his con-yard in the middle of the map, taking himself a 3rd refinery, trying to get his eco back up and running. And Error 404, I think he's got 8 refineries under his control, or he's about to have 8 refineries under his control, which is just going to be a massive amount of income. BlackOps trying to rebuild a little bit here, deciding to go for that naval yard. Per looking to expand. He's looking to take himself up to a paltry 5 refineries, which, you know, it's so many less than Error 404 has, as well as an oil derrick, which is just, you know, kind of like an obnoxious amount of money for Error 404. He's going to be losing that harvester, so, you know, U2 Forever has that going for him. Although U2 Forever, it looks like he's got himself 2 oil derricks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 refineries. So not quite the income of 8 refineries, but not bad either. I mean, certainly that's enough considering that 5 refineries at one time is big money. You can do a lot with that kind of money, which actually I'm surprised no one's built a super weapon yet. You know, like dropping a super weapon here, you got multiple MCVs, you can still pump out other base defenses if you really need them. But yeah, you could drop a super weapon. Per going to be taking a look at what Wallace has going on. He's got those 3 refineries, which in a 1v1, 3 refineries would be feeling pretty good about yourself. Yari mini-subs for BlackOps. They're going to be trying to take down this refinery. They killed the Harvester already, but Per is going to transform. He's got his own Yari mini-sub. He loses the refinery anyways to the suicide of those Yaris. And Bears heading out on the water for Wallace. I don't know if sending out Bears to poke the bear. That is Error 404 is a wise idea. Error 404 starting to encroach on the area of U2 forever. Killing off those aquatic units one by one. Those subs not really going to be able to do too much more for BlackOps. And this is the big money prize fight that you all have been paying to see. The naval battle from Error 404 with the EMP locking down a huge section, and now is the time bomb going to be coming on into the middle of this army. So Error 404, he may have stepped a little bit too far forward, and there's the time bomb blowing up so many of these tsunami tanks. Tengu's in the sky just getting eliminated one by one as the Shogun battleships now back online. Another EMP could fire off, and I think he's a little bit worried, but Error 404 is just getting shredded every which way. From the aircraft carriers to the hydrofoils, eliminated everything in the skies, and that was not even a fight. That was just a slaughter. With all of those units, you'd think one of them would have attacked. But I guess going for the pacifist route, why do you build all of this stuff if you don't plan on attacking with it? He does plan on attacking with this stuff on the ground, I assume. Maybe he'll finally be able to kick Wallace out of this game, but out on the water, everything is going to U2 forever. Man, those hydrofoils shredded everything. Nagasaki cruisers now out on the field. Maybe they'll do a better job of shooting straight ahead. Those tsunami tanks going down, and double vet and single vet aircraft carriers in the south. Ooh, Per has a big problem. This is a lot of Tengus from BlackOps, which, you know, Tengus are not the strongest units in the game. Per gonna be picking a fight with Error 404, so not necessarily a good idea. Still, he's got a lot of power left in him. Does he have just one Tengu attacking that wall? I don't know that that's the fastest way to kill that single wall segment, if that's really what you want to do to get at this ore refinery. Finally breaking down the wall, and now going to be able to kill that ore refinery very quickly. He's got a ton of Tengus, all with the point defense drones now on them. Airfield going to be coming up for Wallace. Again, Wallace, he's just sitting on those 3 refineries. If he's able to just avoid taking damage for long enough, let everyone who's got a lot of money, who's got big armies, slug it out, fight each other. It looks like Per is going for a little bit of an angle here, and now he's over ground, which means he has to contend with the Striker VXs on the ground, so he can't really fight this army totally. Ooh. Emperor's Rage is here as well, which means a direct engagement Tengu to Tengu would favor BlackOps. U2 forever, he's curving around to the left side of the map. He's setting up some new refineries after having to sell off everything and retreat. He's got a lot of hydrofoils, a lot of dolphins, and even some aircraft carriers, but these Shogun battleships, they're forming a bit of a blockade. Now what you can try and do is use the EMPs and the hydrofoil weapon jammer to break through the front lines. There's a big section of Navy getting crushed there, and that refinery getting pushed back as well. Caught by the EMP, the assault destroyers and the Dolphins going to make short work of a lot of this stuff. The Nagasaki cruisers doing what they can to hold the line, but I don't know if it will actually be enough, as even these Dolphins, their little bit of DPS that they have, is enough to whittle away at these units over time. This assault destroyer going to be absorbing so much of the damage, and the aircraft carriers also getting in on the action and eliminating some of these Empire naval units. Things are starting to thin out for U2 Forever. Does he have enough follow-up to really push this much further? Actually, he may not. He may not be able to push this too much further if he loses everything on the front line here, because then he just won't have anything to try and protect those aircraft carriers. And aircraft carriers are good, but they can't necessarily push in all by themselves if your opponent has the units up close and personal. This one Riptide will end up going down. And if he can kill that Naginatana cruiser, like lock it down with an EMP, no, he doesn't even need to. He gets the kill, which means there's no real frontline armies for either of these guys, which means artillery versus artillery. You're probably going to favor the player with more artillery. And that is, of course, U2 Forever. He's going to end up losing, or he's going to end up killing that Shogun battleship per a ton of Chopper VXs, well, 3 Chopper VXs and a ton of Tengus. Having trouble really keeping his economy afloat. He's doing what he can to poke and prod at the other players, but these Apollos, they're looking for something, looking for a kill. But yeah, unable to really keep his economy rolling, which, you know, BlackOps, he doesn't have as big of an economy as Error 404 or U2 Forever, but I think he's been able to keep the majority of, like, these 4 refineries going for pretty much the entire game. I don't think he's ever really lost his, like, core 4. He may have tried to expand out to a 5 and a 6, but, yeah, able to keep those 4 or so refineries up and running pretty much the whole time. Oh, Wallace. Oh, Wallace. 2 engineers and some flak, or 3 engineers and some flag troopers. Not really going to be able to do anything, as Wallace, he's trying the bullfrog moves. It's not really going to be able to put him back in this game, but you got to give him props for trying. Error 404 moving out with the Shogun battleships. EMP locks down 2 of them. And again, when this is your situation where you're trying to fight against a guy with more artillery than you, and I mean, in this case, the EMP missile is the better special ability. Knocking down all 4 of those boats, of those ships. As in the sky, is getting shredded by all of these Tengus from BlackOps, but Striker VXs are going to be able to push BlackOps back. And 1 aircraft carrier did go down. I don't know why this army is just sitting here and not actually engaging, relocking down all of these Shogun battleships, while on the right side of the map, a huge mess of Empire as huge armies clashing, even Shoguns from the water from BlackOps getting in on this action a little bit here, and it looks like King Oni and Wave Force Artillery gonna start moving in on Wallace's territory, gonna be trying to fight him off a little bit here. Naginatana cruiser goes down. The Shoguns have been eliminated. Error 404 has been pushed back, and the Apollo is going to be taking on the Twin Blades. So Wallace losing on every front, losing on the ground, losing in the sky. King Oni and the Wave Force Artillery in the north going to be able to kill everything that Wallace had. It looks like Wallace will get the kill on 2 of those Wave Force Artillery, but it's not enough to stop the onslaught, to stop Error 404 from crushing this base. The MCV packing up over onto the right side of the map here, moving into kind of Per's territory, which could end up making Per angry at him, and then Wallace is going to be in a lot of trouble if he brings more and more of these players onto his front doorstep. Error 404 trying to chase down those Apollos. He may get the kill on one of these hydrofoils, but that's not too big of a deal here. King Onis, are they going to actually catch this MCV? Are they actually going to be able to kill it once and for all? And it looks like Error 404, he's going for the kill on land. He wanted to walk right past Wallace's stuff, so Wallace actually saved by the fact that he's not the biggest threat, by the fact that Error 404 wants to turn his attention to U2 Forever, which I think I'm just going to call him U2, or maybe just call him Bono, because that's easier. These assault destroyers are going to get eliminated. That Tengu transformed for no reason at all, but the EMP is going to lock down 2 of those King Onis. They've already killed Bono's refinery, and these assault destroyers over here, they could be in a lot of trouble. They are going to get the crushes on those tank busters. 2 assault destroyers go down. A third gets eliminated. There's the EMP. Locks down some of the assault destroyers as well, but these wave force artillery are, I think, what he really wants to push back and destroy. The crush is good with 1 assault destroyer getting heroic status there with the kill up in the north. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but these King Onis might finally be able to cut through the rest of these assault destroyers. You know, if the EMP doesn't lock these guys down again, the focus firing isn't great from Error 404 with the aircraft carriers. It looks like Bono is going to be able to cut through these forces. Wallace has attracted the attention of Purr, and these Tengus are going to be going for the kill as all of the King Onis get eliminated. And finally, the airfield, the war factory, maybe even the crane will be going down. Wallace getting pushed, I think, only up north is maybe his only bastion of hope, as he does have that 1 refinery way out on the water, which may go unnoticed for the current time, and his MCV as well. And again, in some other FFAs in the past, we have seen players get ignored and hide out in the corner, and then eventually they're able to build up enough, come back, and win when the other guys have been weakened by each other. With no money left in the bank, Purr has been defeated. It's amazing with that big of an army. Wallace has stayed in the game longer than Purr. His MCV is going to be trying to march through the main base of Error 404, which ordinarily would sound like a bad idea, but Error 404 has traded out so much of his army against Bono that it may actually be okay in this situation. Final squadron going to be coming in, and it looks like these 2 airfields are going to be under potential threat, with the Shogun battleships also doing some potential damage to them. 1 goes down, the second one does still stand, and there are still lots of Apollos here, so still good anti-air capability for Bono. In the north, a huge army for BlackOps could turn its attention to Wallace or to Error 404, as Wallace has actually set up camp in Error 404's original main base, forcing him to sell off pretty much everything. Oh my gosh, Wallace is out. Fire sale. He sells off everything in his Shoguns. He's counting all for nothing. He's counting these guys as already lost, and Error 404 has been defeated, meaning U2 forever is the big strong man in this fight, but BlackOps, I think, has a real shot. And again, if we all just send our energies to Wallace, we can see a Soviet take a victory in this FFA. Dropping down another multi-gunner turret, just adding even more to the fortress that is Camp U2. Error 404 being defeated kind of leaves this left side of the map pretty darn open. Wallace could try and take it. Bono could try and take it. BlackOps, you know, he could also try and take it, but he's, you know, maybe going to find that a little contested. As BlackOps, is this his... No, this is his 6th refinery, so he's already got a 5th refinery up and running, which I imagine at this point, all of the main refineries in your main bases, yeah, they are depleted. So these edge refineries, which haven't been harvested from as much, are going to become more and more important. So really, he's got 2 refineries up and running, and then like 4 partial refineries up and running. Twin Blades are going to get eliminated. Those Apollos show no mercy as Wallace gets pushed back on another front. But Wallace, he's doing okay. He's absorbing lots of money. He's got a crane out on the water with the super reactor. He's got $7 grand left in that ore mine and $7 grand left in that one. So he's got himself a tidy 15,000 credits almost, which is enough to get a couple more, you know, refineries on these depleted ore nodes. And actually, this one has 18,000 credits, so BlackOps may want to take a gander at this guy over here, and yeah, maybe even that guy. I mean, that's enough to almost get your money back. You get 2250 back, and then from there, you start slowly earning back the cost of that refinery, but gets your income up. And yeah, BlackOps expanding out with those refineries. Eventually, it'll be worth it to take these depleted ones in Purr's old main base, but you know, for right now, probably not worth taking those particular expansions. Bono, he's sending all of his dolphins. You know how Bono loves sending his dolphins places. You know, Bono and his dolphins. They're going to get spotted and shot down by that Tengu. So that Tengu, he shows up for the fun of scouting, for the fun of reporting back to his commander what exactly is going on. It looks like this 18,500 credit ore mine is going to be taken by Wallace, dropping the refinery with the crane, and then moving on with that MCV. He's got these 2 ore refineries rolling, so he himself is going to be on, like, you know, again, depending on how you want to count it, he's going to be on 6 refineries, but obviously not all of those are going to be working together. They're not all going to be working at maximum capacity. There's the transform for a big point defense drone application as the Shogun battleships move to the bottom and to the right. Now keep in mind, the last guy to take Shogun battleships... Oh my gosh, that is so many sentry bombers. That is so many sentry bombers. The last guy to take Shogun battleships into a fight against Bono did lose. You know how Bono is with his fights. This is a lot of Tengus. The Tengus could actually clear out the Apollos and then transform directly on top of the aircraft carriers. They're going to have a hard time dealing with the assault destroyers and with this many Dolphins, but this is so many Tengus, it may actually be possible. I have no idea what the numbers are going to look like for this kind of a battle. There's the Black Hole armor being activated for those assault destroyers, but Emperor's Rage giving some extra DPS to these units. The Dolphins eventually will be going down, but there are the EMPs. Good blanketing of those missiles, not maximum effect, but pretty darn close to it. These Dolphins are doing huge DPS to Black Ops' army. He's got a little flank on the right side here. He's not able to cut on through. He calls the retreat, trying to bring these assault destroyers into the guns of the Shogun battleships. And finally, the Black Hole armor has worn off, but with the hydrofoils coming in for the defense, they're going to be able to push those Chopper VXs away, stopping them from really being much of a part of this battle. Now, another EMP could potentially lock down all of these Shogun battleships and allow these aircraft carriers to do the work that they were meant to do. This heroic assault destroyer does actually survive. There's the EMP. No, the assault destroyer does go down, but so will the Shogun battleship as it gets frozen, locked in place by the EMP. Otherwise, it would have been able to escape. And this is the entirety of the army pretty much for Black Ops. He doesn't have a whole lot else going on. There goes... Wow, so there goes 1 aircraft carrier, 2 and 3 still are here, but no, one of them goes down. He double EMPs instead of EMPing in 2 different places, so the Shogun battleships are actually going to be able to win this fight. It's going to be like 4 against 1 in just a moment here as they get the kill on that aircraft carrier, and this heroic aircraft carrier is the only thing left. 4 Shogun battleships against just 1 aircraft carrier, and one of the Shoguns is heroic. They do survive for 1 bombing run, but that is going to be it. This aircraft carrier is not long for this world as Bono loses the last of his naval fleet. He does call in the sentry bombers to take out the MCV, to almost take out the docks, but he's not able to do it. Actually, I guess that was something. I don't know what that was, but the MCV is right there and is doing just fine. Shogun battleships from Black Ops now going to be encroaching on the base of U2 Forever. And U2 not able to make the defense happen, so he's going to be slowly just whittled away. Now, he does still have a lot of units. He does still have a good economy, so he has the opportunity to beat back this attack and to still strike out against Black Ops. 1 EMP, 2 EMPs, good blanketing there, locking absolutely everything down, and then bringing a bomb directly on top of one of those Shogun battleships. This heroic Shogun battleship is going to get eliminated. That one takes a little bit of damage, but another Shogun does join the fight. This is a lot of Dolphins here right on the front lines. The Black Hole armor is going to try to absorb some of that DPS, but there is going to be the charge from that Shogun battleships. The Dolphins easily avoid it. Great control there by U2 Forever. Bono able to keep his Dolphins alive. You know how he do. That Bono, he loves his Dolphins. But instead, this double vet Shogun is going to go down slowly, chipped away at by those Dolphins, and Black Ops has been pushed back. His naval army defeated after, his navy defeated after a clear victory over Bono. The back and forth swings as, you guys, did you forget about Wallace? Because Wallace didn't forget about Wallace. In fact, Wallace said, you know what's a good idea? Triple naval yard is a good idea. Why? I say so. That's why. This is a lot of Tengus with a big transform. They're going to be able to clean up these dolphins, no problem, push them back, and save one of the Shogun battleships. It's not the double vet Shogun battleship. It's not the heroic Shogun battleship. It's not the Shogun battleship you wanted to save, but it's the Shogun battleship that you did save. This aircraft carrier going to be able to put the hurt on this one refinery, one of many that BlackOps has established recently, and it will survive for one more bombing run. But these Tengus, they're going to try and go for the kill directly on the aircraft drones, and they may be able to get it. No, it looks like this refinery will barely go down. It gets killed, but now this aircraft carrier also gets killed. EMP locks down a chunk of these units, but it does not matter. Sentry bombing run able to eliminate one of those refineries. A second refinery does go down, and a third gets killed as well, although that hydrofoil finally does go down. Wallace being slowly pushed back from his stronghold that he has established on the top left-hand side of the map. I just realized I have no idea how I'm going to do the starboards, the nameplates, for this game, especially with people getting eliminated. You guys already know, but that's for something for me to figure out at a time after I record this, but before you see this, so it'll already be figured out, which is kind of a weird breaking of the space-time continuum there. A little bit of peek behind the curtains as these Apollos are looking for some damage. They're going to get a kill on a lot of these twin blades if they can, but no, the Bullfrogs are here to push away the Apollos. This is a lot of hydrofoils. They're weapon jamming, but they're not doing much else than that. Keep in mind, BlackOps is also in the corner, so every bit of unit that gets expended, every bit of defense that is used over here weakens Bono for the inevitable attack, which is BlackOps Tengu Swarm. It looks like this MCV is probably going to go down. I'm not sure why it packed up and is just hanging out over here. I don't know if he was trying to go for the repairs from that airfield, but just ended up not working out. This is a lot of sentry bombers. The balloon bomb is going to be coming in, and that is a huge Emperor's Rage, giving so much DPS, but these guys are so clumped up. A big transform on top of these sentry bombers. The only way to save those Tengus was to transform, but now, of course, they're going to be vulnerable to those hydrofoils, and Bono absolutely turning that attack around from what looked like devastation into an all-right situation. I think he lost the MCV, but that's okay in this particular case. I think he doesn't have another MCV. Actually, Wallace pushing in from the left. This is actually a bit of a problem for Bono. You know how Bono be. When he gets attacked by two guys at once, he has trouble with that. Something getting eliminated by the Twin Blades in the south there, possibly an MCV, and still has this MCV up here, so he's down from like 3 or 4 MCVs down to just the one, just the poor one MCV. Tengu's going to be able to escape as the Emperor's Rage wears off, and they are able to get on out of there. This is so many bullfrogs from Wallace. He has a decent cloud of twin blades as well. He's sold off some of his naval yard. He's still got this great little expansion up here, which has been working for him for so long. And down to 5,000 credits in that ore mine. Ooh, Apollo's taking what they can. They're going to pick a fight with these Tengus. This is a lot of Tengus, which in combination with the Strikers on the ground will give victory to our Empire player, but that's a lot of Tengus that he traded out for that. I don't know if it was worth it for Bono. He is going to lose one of these sentry bombers. The other one may go down as well, and yes, it does get eliminated there. Uh-oh. U2 forever. He's in a little bit of trouble. Huge swarm of twin blades going to be putting the damage out on those multi-gunner turrets. They get the kill on both of them. They're going to go for the barracks, so no nasty javelin troopers are able to take them down. Having just lost pretty much all of his Apollos, he doesn't have an easy answer to dealing with the twin blades over the ground. Of course, if they head over the water, the hydrofoils will deal with them no problem. There's a big EMP locking down a ton of twin blades. Going to be calling in a time bot on top of that. and potentially doing some more damage with those aircraft carriers. But for now, trading out bullfrogs against all of his infrastructure is probably something that Wallace is okay with. Loses all of those bullfrogs up there, and a glorious fireball of an explosion. Satellites going to be getting called in, disrupting that positioning there, and actually drops the naval yard as well. So that naval yard was the main production facility of Bono. And now it is gone, as he's taking even a little bit of extra damage from those from the Delta airstrike, from the Desolator airstrike, and actually he nearly loses that aircraft carrier just to that Delta airstrike, coming in and dropping all of those chemicals. Twin Blades, are they going to try and suicide themselves for some solid kills? The answer is yes, a little bit here. They're going for the Assault Destroyer, which means he wants to put the damage out some other way, and he's going to have to pull back. Right now, Wallace doesn't have the strength to kill Bono right now. This is going to be a weird transcript for this game. They're like, wait, what? Is this guy a terrorist? Oh, no, he's playing video games. It just sounds like he might be planning to assassinate someone. But no, it's just video games. It sounds like a celebrity takedown or something, but no. It's just video games. Just trying to keep people entertained during this quarantine time, which I realize in life, I don't know, however long it takes us to get out of quarantine, 2 weeks to 8 weeks, then that comment will make not a lot of sense as people slowly forget about, hey, what was coronavirus? Oh, coronavirus, is that mod for Red Alert 3 that no one has told me about at all? Please, if you, if you've heard of the Corona mod for Red Alert 3, you should tell me about it one more time, because I haven't had enough people asking me if I've ever heard of the Corona mod. Wallace coming. Oh! I have never seen that be that effective. That's an old trick. You call in the time bomb and the precision bomber directly on top of it, and then when the time bomb spawns, instead of having to tick down, the precision bomber kills the time bomb and it explodes immediately. But I've never seen it catch that many units. Apollo's with the Sentry Bomber is going to be going for that refinery. They get it easy peasy, which that ore mine has 10 grand still in it. Cryogeddon going to be firing off onto that crane, but does he have anything? Does he have anything to get the kill? What was his plan there? What was he going to do with that? He gets the freeze. I assume there was going to be like a Sentry Bomber or something to come through and like make sure that everything gets blown up. But nope, the answer right now is nothing. Bullfrogs will get slowly eaten away by that aircraft carrier. In the north, BlackOps, like me, he likes single unit spam. He likes the thing where you just build one unit for like the majority of the game. And I mean, if you're going to choose one unit to make, a Tengu is a pretty good unit. BlackOps has been pushed back a little bit here. He's got 5 grand left in that ore refinery, 3 in that one. This one, oh, 7 actually. I thought that one was depleted. Kind of like this guy, which isn't actually being mined from. And Wallace, he's now standing strong as the big boy in this game in terms of just sheer unit numbers. Bono definitely has the tech advantage. You know, Apollos and hydrofoils kill Twin Blades in droves, but I think just sheer numbers, Wallace, because he has so many Twin Blades, might have the numbers advantage. Although, this is a lot of Tengus, so... The 2 low-tech armies, they're much bigger from Wallace and BlackOps, but they're not as sophisticated as what Bono has. One refinery goes down. And Bullfrogs are going to be able to push these Apollos back. The Apollos don't get any kills. Tank Buster is going to be moving in for BlackOps. He's going to be able to kill that multi-gunner turret and then eventually start working on that ore refinery. Apollo's potentially getting the kill on one of these twin blades. Going to be running home to safety. Might even pick up a second twin blade as this flak cannon goes down in the new main base of Wallace. I don't even remember where Wallace was originally. He was somewhere, but these Apollos clearing the skies after those EMPs locked down a lot of those bullfrogs. The Apollos now going to be escaping on away. And Sentry Bombers, they're coming in. They could be going for this airfield and the super reactor. A big move here by Bono. You know how he hates super reactors. You know how he... Oh, he's actually going to get a couple more twin blades here, which, again, that's pretty much all of the power other than those Kula subs in the south, which are putting a little bit of hurt on the navy of Bono. Twin blades will be able to escape for now. Their bullfrog buddies keeping them safe. Keep in mind, in the north, Wallace still has that crane, so he can always build more stuff as long as he's got the money, which I think is true of most of us. And a Kula sub, no, he may not be able to actually finish off that airfield. He's going to call down satellites, which the big satellite could definitely get the kill on one of those airfields, might even get the kill on both of the airfields. I think the MCV just packed up and tried to move away or something. One airfield, the second one barely does survive. If only that Akula sub had got a bit more damage output, but no, was not able to. Refinery is doing just fine. That Akula sub may have actually wanted to sacrifice himself instead to try and get the kill on that airfield, and it looks like a Delta airstrike going to be coming in. Gets the contamination, and these hydrofoils going to have to move out of the area. This aircraft carrier as well needs to clear the area. That's like BP. That's what we should actually call Wallace, considering how much he's poisoning the ocean. Aircraft carrier does go down. Akula sub, he feels good about himself getting that kill. That is a big crowd getting. Here's the thing, though. Does he actually have anything to... Oh my gosh, yes he does. This is going to be so many Tengus. Those guys, those of you who hate seeing the Tengus survive, that one is for you. And actually, I didn't realize that the point defense drones would absorb all of that, and a lot. That was a genius move. I assumed that the bomb would have enough punch to get through the point defense drones and do just that one, that 1 HP worth of damage to the frozen Tengus. I just learned something. I didn't think that was actually going to work. I was like, that's kind of a waste of point defense drone. But, good try. But the point defense drones absorbed exactly that entire blast. So, great move there by BlackOps. That was a big boy brain move as he saves all of those Tengus. To be honest, he probably would be fine considering the sheer number of Tengus that he still has in this game. Wallace, he is slowly but surely pushing Bono back further and further. Bono, who once had a mighty, mighty empire, is reduced to 3 or 4 refineries? Sheesh, what is even going on with this guy? This Akula sub. He's taking a look over at that refinery of BlackOps. But yeah, he doesn't even have this refinery, so it's just the 3, which they're probably all depleted at this point. And I mean, he's got the Sentry Bombers, he's got a couple of aircraft carriers, one of them heroic, one of them double vet, so it's not like Bono is out of this right now. Ooh, Yari Minisub gets the kill on the Akula, not something you see very often. Ooh, this refinery, he is running for the hills. He will indeed escape. These 2 static refineries will not escape. Both are depleted long, long ago, and this 1 Sentry Bomber, actually, no, 2 of them will go down. This other one gets eliminated so quickly. That is way too many Tengus to be able to contest with. Rebuilding that refinery immediately, and Wallace has been defeated. I actually thought Wallace had a chance of putting some more hurt on Bono, but as this goes into a more and more low eco game, the sheer number of refineries doesn't help you very much. And now, just purely going based on this one fact, Tengus are awesome. It looks like BlackOps may be able to lock this game down. Now, a couple of things. He doesn't want to engage the Apollos over where the hydrofoils can help out, so he has to be careful of that. Tengus, they are crazy good, but they are still relatively weak. He's got the timer running now on those point defense drones. They don't last forever. Either you use them or you lose them. I mean, it does take a couple of minutes before they expire. I'm not actually sure how long it is, if it's like 90 seconds or, 3 minutes or what. I don't know. But he's got a lot of point defense drones, and he can try and just work his way through this stuff one at a time. He can deal with the Apollos if he can get in close. He can deal with the sentry bombers because he's surrounded and eliminated them. But there is still a way that Bono can pull out of this. It's going to be difficult. The Apollo's not engaging alongside these hydrofoils, which means the big transform happens, and there is enough here, which with this Cryogeddon we'll have to see, but there should be enough here to eliminate everything that's on the ground. The Apollos didn't take a wonderful fight in the sky with the hydrofoils also getting some damage out. That one aircraft carrier goes down, and now it should be easy going for the rest of the time for BlackOps. He should be able to eliminate pretty much everything here as he's focusing down this assault destroyer. Going to be able to kill that. There's the Emperor's Rage firing off, giving him more and more DPS. And Bono, he hasn't tapped out yet, but he will soon be forced to. The MCV is going to be under threat. This naval yard can be killed pretty quickly once these Tengus turn their attention to it. Actually, there's an aircraft carrier over here, so a huge EMP, but is it just delaying the inevitable? I think the answer is yes, as this one aircraft carrier is not going to kill all of these Tengus before the EMP comes off of cooldown, and a couple of Tengus have started attacking this aircraft carrier on the left side. One more base defense goes down, and he's going to try and retreat onto the land. I assume, no, he's staying out on the water rail. He'll just get eliminated. The cable to space even shows up for this match, and this is it for YouTube Forever, a.k.a. Bono. He is going to be out of here, as Wallace is also out of this game, as BlackOps is going to be able to take this FFA on Magmageddon. What a crazy action-packed FFA with big swings left and right. And I mean, my gosh, way back at like the 12-minute mark is where we lost KardashianBooty, a.k.a. Kim. And then Per and Error 404 also got eliminated right near each other. And the rest of these guys stuck it out nearly until the end. I do want to take a quick look at this resource graph. Wow, so Error 404 definitely had the spike in the beginning here. But over time, BlackOps able to make it happen. What was his total resources gathered? Nearly 300,000 resources gathered. 30,000 ahead of Bono. So he was richer than Bono, you could say. And that will do it for this match. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this oldie but a goodie FFA featuring these guys. And this is Sybert signing out.